Good morning. It is time for coffee. So, my last video I said my coffee mug for this coffee chat was already picked. Very special mug. I haven't drank out of it yet. I do not worry, be happy. This was my dad's mug. We gave him this for Father's Day, I think last year. And yeah, it was one of his. You can tell on the inside there's scratches from the spoon. Yeah, you can tell that he used that one. That was a regular coffee cup of his, and so was this one. Both of these came from Dollarama. This one my mom gave Casey in a little gift bag, a penguin one. And if you knew my dad, he loved penguins. It was his favorite animal. Yeah, so very cute. So hot chocolate in that. I have to go through my mugs. I have some fall mugs, not a whole lot. I only have the Tim Horton Ghosting one and the one I found at Marshall's quite a few years ago. And I have to wash my new one. So, yeah, coffee mug choice today. Yeah, and I'm going to use the caramel apple creamer, International Delight. Crafted for coffee lovers, touch of apple pie. So, caramel apple pie. This was at Walmart. I wonder how they decide, because I know they have like a few options for like this size of a bottle. I wonder how they decide which flavor, goes into what size bottle. So this was on rollback. I think it was under $4 at the time I bought it. So let's give it a little tasty test. Okay. I bought this like a few weeks ago. Going on a few weeks ago. And I've been waiting patiently to try it with you guys. Everything is super glued. I feel like I can't do this. Let me. Yeah, kind of smells like apple pie. Yeah, how's that apple pie smell? You kind of like smell the caramel. Yeah. Okay. And we will grab the most important thing in the house, coffee. Magical bean juice. Yeah. Okay, I just need my sugar. Which my bowl isn't full, my bowl is empty. I'll add more. Alright, so let's head outside while it's still nice out. And, before old man winter comes, hopefully we can get a couple more coffee chats outside. Let's do a taste test. And yeah, cheers. Cheers to a wonderful day. Okay. There's only one bad thing about this. You're gonna want apple pie after. It tastes just like apple pie. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yep. I think I'm going to make that creamery disappear. I made a small bottle, so it won't take me long. But yeah, you're gonna crave an apple pie. Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but yeah, it's really good. And the hubby brought home apple fritter, and which is appropriate, right? Donut, yeah, and which was my dad's favorite. We both loved the apple fritter. Yeah, I did a TikTok. It's like around the time my dad first passed away, there was his TikTok, and it was this lady, and of course I didn't save the video because I forgot I was in the right state of mind, to remember to do that. And she was just talking about like Tim Hortons, everything that was discontinued and that needs to come back. And it's like, yeah, no, you're right, because like what Tim Hortons has now, I mean, it's nothing. Like there used to be like 2 4-foot sections of goodies, and now like there's only 1 4-foot section, and it's really like slim pickings. There's not like a whole lot to choose from. And back in the day, they used to bake the donuts. Now they come frozen, you know, and it's just, yeah, like, what happened, Tim Hortons? And I did a video because I couldn't remember if these things were added, but I would love to see English toffee cappuccino. My dad and I used to love that cappuccino. French vanilla is okay, but English toffee is just a little bit better. Step up. And blueberry fritter, you know, blueberry fritter, they come out with every once in a while, but it's only limited edition, limited time, you know, blah blah blah. We don't like those words. And the cinnamon rolls, those were so stinking good, and they were huge. Like, you can put one on each of your ear and be Princess Leia. You can cosplay Princess Leia. They were that huge. And you would have like a regular cinnamon roll, one with chocolate icing, which was our favorite, and I think there was one with vanilla icing, and they were like so good. And I don't know whose stupid decision it was to, you know, get rid of those for good, but it was stupid. Yeah, and then I said, like, you know what I would do if I was, you know, in the business, if I was CEO at Tim Hortons, I would bring back certain items every month, have a rotation, you know, have like so many, like maybe 3, you know, have like a donut and have something from like the lunch menu, or like a drink, you know, something like that, and pick from one of those and just have it on rotation. That's what I would do, and you would sell out and you would make money, you know. But do they do that? No, because they're too stupid. I'm sure that there's like a cost reason or whatever, but it's just be nice to bring something back. Yeah. So anyways, let's talk about this reno, because I have an update. And like I said in my last video, I am peeved, I am ticked off, I am past my point, you know. I am done. And a lot of BS. But before we get to what just recently happened the other day, let's rewind. Be kind, rewind a little bit and go back to the beginning of this reno and why we're doing the reno. Okay. Because I have a lot of new friends, and I've mentioned the reno, but some of you might not know why we're doing the reno, and you know, yeah, we will just go through it all. And it's a hot mess, and yeah. Okay, we're gonna go back to 2023. There was a bee buzzing around here. Maybe it's not a good time to take my donut out, but I'm gonna take a bite. Yeah, that's better. The last one I had was not fresh, so that's an improvement. Yeah, they're not baked fresh anymore. You know, it didn't taste right. The last one, no, that's better. So yeah, 2023, the beginning of 2023, we started hearing squirrels in our house, in our bedroom particularly. You would hear them buzz off me. You would hear them all throughout the day, okay, and scratch like nails on the drywall, okay, and you can hear them running around. And some days it was like 5-6 o'clock in the morning. You would wake up to them just running around and you hear the scratching. And then some days it was the afternoon, some days in the evening, okay, and it was like super annoying, and I do not like waking up to stupid squirrels in the house. And we didn't know how they were coming in. We did figure that out later, but we didn't know at the time how they were coming in. But they were not leaving, and this was at the beginning of 2023. So this goes on for months, and it's obvious that they're not going to take their eviction notice and take a hike and find a new home. So our contractor, and like, I know people are going to like, you know, this is just what we did, you know, somebody might have done something different in this circumstance, but this is what we did. And people were like, well, why'd you go with him? Why did you go with somebody else? At the time, he was the only one that we could get who we could afford, you know. And my mom and dad knew him, and like my godparents knew him. He did my godparents' kitchen. And so it's like, okay, great. And nice guy. He was, you know, but people change. So he came over with my dad. It was 1 October. And I remember, like, some things you just don't forget. And I remember the hubby and I got Wendy's brekkie that morning, and I was just finishing that up, and he went outside, and like they were trying to look for like how they were coming in the hole, and they couldn't even find it. So, and then we just came to like the conclusion that, okay, we will figure it out, like, because since the most of the action with the squirrels was in our room, we'll just start there and like take everything bare bone, everything down. And this is like going on almost 2 years ago. Okay, 2 years, okay. And if you would have told me, oh, by the way, this is going to be the reno from HE double hockey stick, you know, it's going to drive you up the wall, it's going to affect you mentally, because it's never going to be ending, and you're still going to be not done in 2025, you know, and we will be. But it's just, yeah. And so, you know, I remember the boys and I went pumpkin picking. It was the week before Halloween, the weekend before Halloween. And we went pumpkin picking. The hubby stayed home because he had to move everything out of our bedroom because our contractor was coming in the next day to tear down everything. And so we went pumpkin picking, and it's like, you know, because my bedroom is my oasis, you know, I go up there to get away. If the boys are busy, they don't need me, and I need just to have a few minutes to myself, I go up there, and, you know, it's your oasis. And I miss that, I do. And he came and he worked every day for 2 months. So all of November and all of December. It was boom, 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 boom. Everything was getting done. Now, at first it was just our bedroom, but then something was found in our bedroom. And thank goodness he did find it. It was bad wiring, and he fixed it. So to be safe, we decided to do the whole upstairs and rip all the walls down. But it was just our bedroom, thank goodness. It had bad wiring. So, but that got fixed, and it was just our bedroom, so that's good. Is that the house is over 100 years old, and it was a cabin at one time, and I have pictures and I have video, and you'll see the cabin logs. So I guess I could say I live in a cabin house. I do. I live in a cabin. Yeah. And I do have video, which will be going up hopefully shortly, of the process, you know, before, during, and I will have after, absolutely. It's been really frustrating because I've been wanting to like work on those videos and get them up. You know, but I didn't want to do it, and then it's like I have nothing to show you after because it's taken so stinking long. So yeah, so it looked really empty upstairs with it being bare bones and like nothing up there. And then like he did the framing, and it was like, you know, really different up there. It's just like, wow. Yeah, did like a different layout, so like the boys' bedroom became our bedroom, and our bedroom became the boys' bedroom, and but yeah, like I said, he was like boom, 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 and then like the drywall went up pretty quick, and then it's like, okay, great, because once the drywall goes up, we should be done pretty quick, right? We should be at the finish line heck no, heck no. And then Christmas came, and then the New Year's came, and no word from him. We didn't see him. Later found out there was like confusion because he thought there was like a misunderstanding. He thought we were going to have somebody help with like the mudding just to get it going, but we didn't. And then like his wife had, you know, him call us, and like the guy doesn't know how to communicate, which is like probably the number one biggest issue. And so he called us, and it was like, you know, okay, it was just a misunderstanding, got it. And then we found out that he had, because he did have a couple of surgeries, but even with the surgeries and him having truck problems, this should have still been done, you know, like 3-4 months tops, not 2 years, like, so he came back just after Easter in 2024. Okay, we're in 2024 now, and he was here for, I would say, probably a month. And I remember like the drywall, he was doing the mudding. Okay, drywall was up except for some parts downstairs. The drywall wasn't done. I don't understand that, like how you finish the upstairs drywall but you don't do like the downstairs. I'm a person who likes to, like, he does have ADHD, so that could have been it. I'm not sure if he's medicated, but like I'm a person who, like, when I start something, I like to finish it before I start something else, you know. Yeah, and he does tend to like get bored and like will do something else. So, but like the mudding was getting done, and I remember being up there with Aurelian, and he was like, oh, will it be done before my birthday, which is May 20th? And he said, oh yeah. But I knew right away that was BS. I'm like, you know, because you just start to get a feeling, and like you start to realize, no, because you have a track record, you kind of show up for a period of time, you disappear, and you show up for a period of time, and there's absolutely no stinking communication from him. And then, well, yeah, and we did try to communicate. My dad tried to, you know, step in and get to the bottom of it, and you know, and it's just, like I said, a hot mess. And then he disappeared. You know, yeah, the mudding was finished, and he cleaned off the walls, like got the dust off so you can prime, and so the primer sticks right to the drywall, and then it's like June, July, August, the whole summer of 2024 goes by, nothing. And but we kept hearing, oh yeah, we kept hearing that, you know, oh yeah, he's gonna come after a couple jobs, or you know, or he's gonna try to come in a couple of weeks, but you can't really take his word for anything, you know. And then it's like, let me see, that was, yeah, 2024, and then in October 2024, he finally shows up to do the trim, but he was only here for an hour and like 20 minutes, and he runs out of trim. And I'm like, who doesn't have the right amount of trim? So our bedroom is partly done. There's 2 windows that do need trim, and then like then he's gone, and it's like, okay, you know, deja vu. And then like we don't see or hear from him, and then I find out through Bookface that he had his second surgery in November, and he was on strict doctor's orders not to do any work until March. So he was on, you know, bed, like kind of bed rest, but not really. Like he couldn't like work, like he can get up and walk around, but you couldn't do any heavy lifting, that kind of stuff, right? And it took 10 weeks of recovery time. So it's like, okay, that puts us on March. And you would think that, okay, the first job you should come back to is ours. No. He kept doing other people's jobs. And then the hubby called July 1st. And then, you know, we heard, he said that because he has to use a saw, he has to use it outside, and he doesn't want anybody to steal it. It's always a good idea to have somebody outside. I don't think it would get stolen because, like, if even people walk by, the car is blocking, because it would be on the table, the car is blocking the view. But it's always, like, a good precaution just in case to have somebody to watch it. But I think the chances of that happening would be very slim if somebody just walked by and decided to steal it. Like, we've had problem with theft before, but a long time ago, nothing recently, right? And that was like when we were first married. I carved a pumpkin and it was in the shape of Mickey Mouse, and I put it on the step, and the next day it was gone. Somebody stole it, and it's like, what the heck? Okay, you can have a rotten pumpkin, you know, like at the time it ticked me off, you know, because it's like, who the heck does that? Is that a thing? You just steal people's carved pumpkins because you don't want to do the work? Like, and pumpkins are cheap, you know, I think they're still cheap, you know. Oh. I missed my mouth. That's okay. That won't be the last time. But no, so then, like, we told him we wanted it done by Henry's birthday, okay? And this was before, like, my dad went to hospital and got sick and passed away, just before. And then all that happened, and then so we didn't call him or nothing because I couldn't deal with that, and plus what was going on with my dad. And then he passed away, and then it's like, you know, no, I can't. I am tapped out. I am emotionally tapped out. I can't, you know. So oh, the hubby texted him probably 2 weeks ago asking him when he's coming, and he said he's going to try and come here in 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks came and gone, and no show, no communication, nothing, nada. And I texted him Sunday night. Okay, so we're up to current times, and I'm like, are you coming this week? We've waited long enough. Just being honest. And what he sent set me off. It ticked me off, and I probably cried for 30 minutes because all that frustration just let it out. And I also got upset because I was like, you know what, if my dad was here, he would step in and he would help, you know, and he would know what to do, you know, but my dad isn't here, obviously. So this was his. Okay, just gonna let you know, I never want to see this guy again. Okay, this is how mad I am. I never ever want to see him again. I do not like him. One time I did, you know, like I said, very nice guy in the beginning, very nice, but there's just something going on with him, and I don't know what it is, because there's just a lot of stuff that does not make sense. So this is his email. Okay, first of all, it came across rude, okay, and my mom thinks so too, because he starts it with, I told you. When you start a sentence with, I told you, you're coming off across rude. Okay, and honestly, if he sees this, I don't give a care. Because I'm messaging him, and messaging him one more time, and he's being blocked. So he knows I have a channel. I don't know if he watches, but yeah. So I told you in the last conversation, I need his wife off on a day so I can have my saw outside, because you can't have dirt or dust in your house. She has been working the last 2 weeks, so when I'm able to get there, I will call. Here's a part that really ticked me off. The delay is not my problem. Have a great day. Sunday also is not my business hours. Guess which fingers I'm holding up right now? Just guess. Yeah. Duck you. Duck you. Okay? Duck you. First of all, in the last conversation, you said you'd be here in 2 weeks. I have my phone records that the hubby called you July 1st. And I remember when we celebrated my dad's birthday, the first weekend in July, I remember talking to him that you needed his wife, which is an excuse. That is an excuse. Stop it with the excuses. It's pathetic. So, because one of us could watch the Saw. We're home. One of us could have watched the Saw. And knowing that his wife is a workaholic, okay? So if she has a day off and they call her to come in, she's going in because she's a workaholic. So for us to wait for her to have a day off, how is that fair to us? It's not. And yeah, I don't mind having dust or dirt in my house. But like with the Saw, like before when he did the trim, he did upstairs, but we didn't have our stuff up there, and then we started to put our stuff up there, just a few things, and yeah, so he would have to do it outside, but one of us could absolutely watch the Saw. But no, the last conversation was him trying to come here in 2 weeks, and I knew he wouldn't. Yeah. The delay is not my problem. It is your problem. It is his problem. Like, because we're waiting for you, and it's like, yeah, no, it is your problem. And Sunday, I did not know Sunday wasn't his business hours, so I didn't text him back because it was still Sunday and it's not business hours. I'm like, who the heck doesn't do business on a Sunday? Like, I understand on a holiday if it's Christmas, but on a Sunday, everybody does business on a Sunday. I mean, the stores are open, you know, they might have Sunday hours, but they're open, like, and this was at like 5 o'clock in the evening. It wasn't like, say, 10 o'clock at night, like. And then we also found out that we're not the only people that he's done this to. So how he gets other jobs, I don't know. I think we did something, we said something, because you start thinking like it's your fault when I know it's not, but that's where your mind goes, you know. Oh, what did I do? What did I say? You know, like, oh my gosh, it's my fault, you know. But you know it's not. It's just the process your brain takes, right? And like, I have talked about the reno on here, but I didn't say anything bad, just like, you know, it's never ending, it's taking forever, I'm tired of it, just being honest, you know, like, but like I said, I don't know if he watches my videos or what, and he never came to my dad's celebration of life, and he knew my mom and dad, you know. He was over there last year, on my mom's birthday, and I wasn't happy to see him, you know, like, I wasn't, and yeah, and he told my mom and dad that, oh, I just have a couple of jobs finished up, and I'm going to finish up their place. And like, well, that was a lie, because you didn't. So you can't take what he says. You can't trust what he says. You just can't. He's not reliable. Communication sucks. And like, we did try to communicate, and when we try to communicate, it makes us feel like you can't, like, I don't know, like, people do this. He made us feel like we were being like inconvenienced to him, like we were bugging him, and it's like, and oh, like, but we're not like trying to call you every day, or, you know, so many times a day. It was like once in a while, but every time that we try to communicate, try to figure out what was going on, it just, you know, and like he would come back like with an attitude or something, and be like, oh, you know, ticked off, and be like, what the heck did we do? Like, you know, like, we're just trying to figure out what's going on, which we have every right to, and you suck, you know, like, I don't get how somebody can treat somebody like this. Like, he never showed up to my dad's celebration of life. He knew about it, and my mom told him about it, and he never showed up. And my mom and I think it's because we were there. You know, he didn't want to, you know, face us, you know. It's like, okay, whatever, you know. And like last year, last October, he drove my dad and my mom to London, Ontario, to get his new leg, because my dad had a false leg, and he got a new leg. And the one in Windsor, the guy retired, and the guy that took over my dad didn't like him, so they went to the guy in London. And of course, when you get a new leg, you have to adjust it, so you have to go up, you know, a couple times until you're good to go. So like, yeah, he knew my mom and dad. You would think he would go to the Celebration Life, but he didn't. So it's like, whatever. So in my last video, I told you we were figuring things out. So we got the name of another person that my mom and dad also know. Now, I don't think this person, I'm not going to give, you know, names, but I don't think this person does big jobs, you know, like tearing down and all that. And all that's left that has to get done will take 2 days. The rest of the trim, the rest of the drywall, what I'll probably do is I'll try to get like a video clip and attach it somewhere to show you. Like, this is all that was left. You know, it's nothing, okay? Yeah, and like I'll try to attach that to like, you know, the video, a future video. But yeah, that and doorknobs and the doors, closet doors, the linen closet, ceiling fan in our bedroom. And that's it. That's it. Not a whole lot. Which ticks me off. It does. Because it's like, get your butt over here. Finish what you started. So, because after this text, and like I had to calm down. And you know, that's why if my dad was here, you know. Yeah. It'd be a different story. Oh, bus off me. Like, seriously. Yeah, so Sunday, the hubby called this guy, and I do remember him, because he did something for my mom and dad back at the old homestead when I still lived back there, probably before I met the hubby. He came over, so he called him on a Sunday, and he called back, see? So he came over last night to take a look, and he said he would take the job, and he would do it. So we have somebody else to finish. Yeah. So it will get done. He's going to come next week. I will keep you posted. But that's what's going on with the reno. I was going to talk about it before, but now it's like, yep, there's been a new date. Gloves are off. Gloves are off. And I am mad. I just don't understand how somebody can treat somebody like this. I don't even know how he gets other clients, other jobs. I don't. No. Oh my gosh, you're driving me crazy. Oh my gosh, buzz off. Like, literally, buzz off somewhere else. Leave me the flip alone. Yeah, so that is that. 2 years. And it's like, I've been living out of a laundry basket for almost 2 years, okay? I only get dressed when I have to leave the house. I would love to get dressed even though I'm staying home. And I do love staying in my PJs, don't get me wrong. I do love my PJs. But I gotta wrap this up. My gosh. This is why I'm not an outdoors girly. This is why I don't like camping or anything outdoorsy. I like sitting outside, having coffee. That's it. I know. What was I saying? Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. I forget what I was saying. Okay, now I remember. I was talking about laundry basket. Yeah, like I would like to get dressed even though I'm staying home, because if I'm in my PJs too long, I just feel lazy, you know. But I only get dressed when I go out because I'm tired of digging through the laundry basket looking for clothes. We do our best to separate them, but they always get messed up, of course, and like having my house turned upside down, our stuff shoved everywhere, not organized, it does not feel like home. It doesn't. I want to decorate the way I want to decorate, and I want to put my pictures on the wall. I want to put my quilt back where I want it, put my blanket over it, because right now that blanket's driving me crazy because it's on the back of the rocking chair and it falls down every so often and I just get so mad. So I was like, that's why it's supposed to go on the quilt rack, but I need someone to put the quilt rack. I want to have all my VHSs and like DVDs and all that organized. But like, yeah, when your stuff is all over the place and you are living in laundry baskets, your house doesn't feel like your house. It doesn't feel like home. You know, it doesn't. And I want it back. I want to take my house back. I want to decorate. I'm not sure if I will decorate for fall. Maybe, it just depends. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, definitely I'll be able to decorate 100% for Christmas. Like, I couldn't decorate and it just sucked. I couldn't really fully put up my Easter decorations this year. Last Christmas, you know, I probably decorated like 50%, not 100, you know. It's hard when your stuff is all over the place, and so yeah. But that's why, like, I'm going to text him tonight and just say that we no longer need you. You know, we found someone else. Try to be as nice as I can. No promises. Oh boy. Yep, and then block him. Block him. I never want to see him again. I never, ever, ever, ever want to see him again. He's on that list. You know how Sheldon had a list? Of people who ticked him off and, you know, like, screwed him over? Yeah, I have one of those too. He's on that list. And he's not getting off anytime soon. I just don't know how he can do this. And, like, I don't know if we did do something or say something, but I don't know, because you know why? He doesn't communicate. And his time management sucks. Like, it just does. Like, oh. That's why if he watches this, I don't care. I don't care. Like, the delay definitely was his. Like, he should not have been taking on other jobs. You should finish this job first and then take on other jobs. Make it make sense. Remember those TV shows on HGTV channel? Mike Holmes. Oh, I used to love watching Mike Holmes. Oh, and he would help people who got screwed over by contractors. Yeah, I used to love watching those. I just didn't think I'd be living it. Although we didn't get screwed over as bad as some of those people did. Like, yeah, ours just, yeah, didn't show up and had an excuse after an excuse after an excuse and didn't communicate. So, and then when you try to communicate with him, like, he made you feel like you were, and you know, yeah. That you were, like, yeah, interrupting him, yeah, and, you know, like, being a nuisance when, like, you're not, you know. Yeah, I used to love watching those shows. Like, Mike Holmes would never do that. Mike Holmes, like, out of, like, everybody from HGTV, like, Brian, Scott, not the Property Brothers. I don't really like the Property Brothers. No, there was a news article that came out about them, where it's, like, they did somebody's remodel, and I think, like, cheaped out. That they either cheaped out on a couple... I have to look into it, but this was a while ago, and it kind of made me go, oh, question mark. But even if that news article didn't come out, I wouldn't pick them. I would pick Mike Holmes. Yeah, I think me and him would get along. Yeah. Yeah, there was something that came out that wasn't good about the Property Brothers. They cheaped out on material, or the material they got wasn't in the people's budget, maybe? Something like that. Yeah. But I would pick Mike Holmes. Yeah. I'd be like, come over for coffee, Mike. Yeah. Yeah. I always liked him. And he had a lot of shows. He had like 2, 3. Oh, he had quite a few. Yeah, I liked watching all of them. But that's what it made me think of. And actually, fun fact, when I went into labor with Henry, I was watching one of his shows. Mike Holmes, yeah. Yeah. Can't remember which one, but I remember it was Mike Holmes. Yeah. You always remember, like, if you're watching a movie or show before you go into labor. Yeah. Which one it was. Yeah. Yeah. With Casey, my water broke bright and early in the morning, so I wasn't watching anything. I was sleeping. Yeah. Yeah, so that is our chaotic reno disaster from HE double hockey stick, pretty much. And I just wanted to update you guys, and yeah. And this is just how we handle it. I'm not good in these type of situations, okay? I am not good. I don't like confrontation. Nobody does. Even when it's through text messaging, I don't like that. And I was just asking, when are you coming this week? We waited long enough, which was true. I wasn't rude. He was rude, because when you start a text, I told you, that's coming off rude, even in a text message. And it's like, no, the last conversation we had was you trying to come here in 2 weeks, which you failed. Okay? When you talked about your wife, that was in July. That was July 1st. Don't try to gaslight me. It ain't gonna work. Oh. Alright. Yep. Anyways, just a disappointment, that's for sure. So yeah, and I don't think honestly, I don't think he would ever show. I don't think he would come back anyways. He would just leave us like this. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go inside because this bee is driving me crazy. Like, I didn't invite this bee for coffee. I know. I'm just buzzing around. Because that's what it does best. Anyways, so yeah, I'll keep you posted. So the new guy is coming next week, and it will get done. Yeah, my nightmare will be over. Yeah, and I know if my dad was still here, he would not be happy. No, he would be as mad as I am, probably even more mad. Because you know what? I feel like this is my feelings. I feel like we were taken advantage of. Okay. Definitely taken advantage of. That we were not important. We were not priority anymore. Yeah, those are my feelings. That's what I feel like. Taken advantage of. Bottom of the totem pole. We don't matter. And when we do matter, I know that. And, yeah. Just not important. So, like I said, I'm not sure what we did, but I don't care. Yeah, you too. But yeah. It will get worked out. And I tell you, after that text, I got upset. I cried for like 30 minutes. I know. Because I'm not going through enough with my dad passing. You know, like, this jerk has to do this. Like, oh, the delay is not my problem. Yes, it is. Because you're not here doing what you should be doing. I don't get it. Yeah. So, by the time this goes up, I will text him one more time and he will be blocked. And that's the end of that. Sorry. Good riddance. Yeah. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna go inside and put my feet up. Have a nap. I know. Yeah. I think what I have to do. Nothing. Yeah. Alright, I will see you guys next fun video. Take care, be blessed, and yeah. That's it for now. Ta-ta for now. Bye. Almost forgot. So we did find out how the squirrels were getting in, and I did have a squirrel in my house in the boys' room. Okay, and you don't want squirrels in your house, especially with a cat. I didn't want Lois to get hurt. I didn't want her to go after the squirrel. She didn't. She was good. I kind of blocked it off, opened up the window, and squirrels are dumb. I mean, let's face it, they are. They're dumb. They forget 80% of the time where they buried their nuts. So, yeah. They're dumb like Patrick Star, okay? They're not smart, okay? And it was hard to get the squirrel. The squirrel was going all over the place, but eventually it went through the window and outside. And then, I remember when all the walls were done, everything was bare bones upstairs, and I went upstairs and looked around. I saw a squirrel pop out, but then I scared it away, and I remember telling our contractor that, and he said, well, sometimes you see things that aren't really there. He said something like that, and that just ticked me off. It's like, I know what I saw, you know. Don't say that, especially to a woman, okay? I know what I saw. I wasn't imagining it, okay? And after that, pretty soon after that, the drywall went up. And then, when was it? It was this year. I'm not sure when. That's a very good question. I don't know. I was lying on the boys' bed, and I started hearing the familiar scratches on the wall, but it sounded like it was like right beside my ear, like really close. Like if I turned my head, I would be face to face with a squirrel. I wasn't, thank goodness. So we had a squirrel back in the house after all that work, drywall up and everything, and the squirrel was in a hole, and yeah, he made a hole in the drywall and his head popped out, and I was in the room at that time and I screamed my head off. The whole neighbors probably heard me, so I scared them away. The hubby had to put like a board over the wall. That's going to get fixed too. And then we found out on that side of the house, which is like where the kitchen sink is, and the boys' side, like of the bedroom, well, our bedroom now, there was a hole. There was like a dry rot in the side of the house, and that's how they got in. So we had somebody come over and fix that. So ever since then, it has been blocked off. Because at first, when we were doing the reno, and this could have been how they were getting to, there was an opening where the slanted ceiling, because we have slanted ceilings in the room, there was a crack, and that's how we at first originally thought they were getting, and they could have, excuse me. So that got sealed off. And they were good. We didn't hear anything until like this year. And it was like really weird, and it's like, are you kidding me? You know, I don't ever want to hear that sound again. And this is why I don't like squirrels, okay? This is why. You know, I am so sorry, but I don't. And they've caused a lot of damage and a lot of hassle, and so like they closed it off, and they weren't happy. They were telling the person off. No, they officially got evicted. So yeah, they, ever since they covered it up, and I think it's guaranteed if it needs fixing, they come over and fix it, no charge, I think. Yeah, so it's like a lifetime guarantee. So yeah, so ever since then, no squirrels. That was how they got in. I mean, but you couldn't really see it. It was very hard to see, and the people had to go over because like it's a house, a little bit of the yard, the neighbor's fence, and then the neighbor's yard and house. So that we had to like, and she had no problem with it, having their ladder over there to help with our squirrel issue. So yeah, I just realized I forgot to mention that, you know, where the squirrels were coming through, and that's where they were coming through. Yeah, but we're good. We are squirrel free. I'm not sure. I can't remember when that happened. It was this year. Maybe in the spring, March, maybe before Easter. Yeah, maybe March, around there, maybe. I'll have to check my journal. I think I wrote about it in my journal. Yeah, I have to get caught up in my journal. You know, and that's the thing with grief. You forget that you did something, because I forgot. I honestly thought I didn't write about like my dad's celebration of life in my journal. But I did. I just don't remember doing it, you know? So, like, when you're grieving, you do stuff, and you forget that you did it. You have no memory of doing it. It's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's what grief does to you. It's a process. Yeah. But yeah, I write in my journal, not a junk journal. I don't have patience for a junk journal. I see people do junk journals, and it's like, yeah, no, I can't. That's kind of like scrapbooking, I think. That's a version of scrapbooking almost. Yeah, it's very similar to scrapbooking. I used to scrapbook one time too, when it first was very popular, and I got rid of a few because I don't really flip through them, and I just lost interest in doing that. You know, it's just, you know, it becomes too tedious. But I do like to put like stickers in my journal, mini pictures. You know, I still have to do that, but you know, one day. But yeah, junk journaling is just not for me. Yeah, too much work looking for pieces to put in your junk journal. So yeah, it's just too much. So, but yeah, I think it was probably around March. I think it was still cold out, but there was no snow. So it might have been March. Yeah. Anyways, okay, that's it. I know this is like a long, but there's just a lot to talk about. So life goes on. Yeah. You know, I wish, you know, my dad was still here. And, it's an adjustment for sure. It really is. Yeah. Anywho, I'll see you guys next one. Alright, ta-ta for now. Bye.